So it's 2020 and you got that new fresh relationship locked up. I'm going to get into one of the biggest red flags that people tend to ignore that facilitate harm. We get into it right here. E&E Exaggerating Experience. Let's go. Welcome back, y'all. This is your boy JG. We gonna switch it up a little bit. Normally, we hit you with some sports, little combat sports, little boxing, MMA, little fast food jokes, bullshit like that. But today I wanted to cover quickly a phenomenon that I've been observing, especially now that I'm a little bit older, when it comes to the beginning of a relationship. So we all know what the honeymoon phase is, right? We exchange numbers, and I'm like, okay, what's up? We feeling bro gut. I'm confident, I'm cheesing all extra. Get the information, we text, I set up a date, we meet, we hit it off, and it's seemingly going well, right? I do this week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and it's popping. So now we're dating semi-regularly. I may have told a friend or two about you, like, hey, your boy, he might have came on to something. I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see how it plays out. I might say some dumb shit like that. But one of the things that I'm noticing, especially about people who've been single for any considerable amount of time, is, we love to settle. We love to settle, don't we? Because think about it. The rationale is this. I can go out on this date with this person that I guess is kind of okay, that kind of likes me, that I guess gives me attention, because that's better than sitting at home and feeling sorry for myself. So the one thing is really two things. Now that I think about it, the honeymoon phase, right? We know what that is. We just made it official, and we spend all our time together, and we laughing and joking and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. So it's always important to get past that phase, because in that phase, we tend to ignore red flags or not see them or be blinded to things that could potentially be harmful to the relationship or you as an individual. If you're dealing with someone who's a narcissist or a weirdo or some shit like that, you might be somewhat normal, but now you're in a precarious situation with the inability to properly identify, is this a good idea? But imagine this scenario, and this is what I really want to talk about. Imagine never even having the honeymoon phase. Imagine that. Imagine being in such a tight spot as a person who just kind of wants a partner, wants someone to lean on, a best friend, so to speak, in a romantic relationship, that from the very beginning of that relationship, you're already explaining away bad behavior. You're already explaining away red flags. You never even got into the situation where it was so great in the beginning, because most relationships should be really fun and exciting and new in the beginning. And that's just it. That's just part of the course. As you progress and learn each other, you guys may have some bumps. If the communication is good, you guys can bounce back from those things. That's what should happen in a semi-normal or normal relationship. But at least in the very beginning, we get to be oblivious and blind to the crazy shit. We get to be like, damn, I can't believe I feel this way, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But imagine, like I said before, a scenario or situation where you're now in dating mode. You're in dating mode, so we're kind of close to exclusive, but not quite. Or we've talked about that. We had that conversation. And I'm talking about, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if they didn't look this way, it would be better. I guess I can get used to it. Or I know that they said this really weird or inappropriate thing, and I don't know, I guess I can get used to that. Imagine trying to convince yourself early in a relationship. Time investment and time spent, those things are different. If you with somebody and maybe you didn't see those things and they manifest later on down the road, and then you have some, at that point you will have opportunity to say, hey, look, listen, we've been together for a while now. I'm noticing some things that are different. Yo, what's up? Is this something we can work on and make a difference? Or do we need to just kind of start to figure out what we need to do to go our separate ways? That's different. But before we've been out several times, before we've traveled together, which is significant, before we've even been intimate, anything like that, any level of intimacy, really, I'm already explaining away poor behavior or questionable behavior or a value system that doesn't align. That's another thing that's crucial. Early. I can't imagine going in. Just think about it like this. You go to a restaurant, right? And you're looking at the menu, and you see a couple things on there you want, like, fuck, I love a cheeseburger. You know, throw a little cheese on there, Swiss, mushrooms, caramelized onion. You know, I like that little onion bun, you know, with the little onion, burnt onion pieces on it. I love that. Lettuce, tomatoes, maybe some bacon, fries on the side. And I'll go with like a water, no ice. That looks good. That looks really good. And it's available, but nope. See my finger? No. You go with this sad ass soggy grilled cheese sandwich for the kid menu. It comes with apple slices. It comes with apple slices. It comes with apple slices. And them shits is sad. And the red apples, which are the worst, are gross. Shout out if you like red apples, but them shits is gross. But you order this thing instead. You order it. And you get it. They bring you that soggy ass sandwich. Gordon Ramsay would be offended. He'll flip the plate over. He'll probably flip the whole table over seeing that punk ass sandwich. So you see the sandwich and you go, you might be lactose intolerant. Well, I guess I like cheese. So you eating it. It's disgusting. It's horrible. You just sat down, you hungry, you full up, and you've been telling Cass all day, I definitely need to get a bite to eat. I definitely would like to have a quality relationship. But then you get this grilled cheese sandwich and you say, well, I guess this is good. And then you settle for that. You never get to see, and I'm gonna tell you what the honeymoon phase of the Swiss bacon cheeseburger that I have. That initial bite, that's the honeymoon phase. That's definitely the honeymoon phase. Because when I bite into that, and it might burn me a little bit. It was hot. And then I see how the meat was perfectly done, and then the cheese kind of is melty down. And I'm looking at that shit with love. I'm looking at it with love. And it might be premature, but I'm looking at it like, wow. I know when we get finished, I'm not going to be hungry anymore. Wow. I'm going to dip a fry, get some ranch, some ketchup, maybe some barbecue. I don't know. Now, I joke, but this is a semi-serious situation. And we, as men and women who are adults, who may be seeking certain relationships, we need to begin to challenge ourselves. They don't even have to be romantic relationships. That's the best part about this conversation. We have to start to seek better for ourselves at the end of the day. If I have to go into any new relationship, circumstance, or situation similar to that and start explaining things away or rationalizing or making excuses for, that's not a good thing. That should tell you this is not what's for me. This is not what I want. Damn, I chopped the whole mic. We don't need to be watering ourselves down, accepting things that we know aren't natural or feel comfortable to us in an effort to have something or somebody. But it happens all too often. It happens all too often. So I'll go back to my original question. Anybody that's been in a relationship, whether it lasted 4 months or 4 years, we can all think back to the time where we had the honeymoon phase. And at least at that point, you got off to a semi-normal start, even though that honeymoon phase could have danger. But imagine being in the scenario or situation where you don't even get the honeymoon phase, where you're straight up settling, rationalizing, excuse making, explaining away all the behaviors you've identified in your mind because there's something in you, intuition that says this is probably not the best, especially women. Dudes, we do questionable shit, but especially women. You can see the writing on the wall because you're trying to fill some sort of void, or your girlfriend and your homeboy, they got a relationship and you see a picture on the internet. Well, you just want to have that. So you're willing to take anything despite a person telling you, because they might not say it directly to you, but an individual will tell you, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but in a roundabout way, they'll tell you, I'm not good for you. I'm actually not good for me. If you pursue me within a relationship, this is going to go really poorly. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to cost you money. I'm going to compromise you. I'm going to compromise your family. I'm going to do these things to you. Those things get said to people without those words being said. And it always happens much earlier than you realize. So to recognize some of those things and then continue to pursue that relationship or circumstance or situation, you're asking for trouble. But on that note, I'm going to close it out. That's just food for thought. This is exaggeration and experience. This is your boy JG. Shout out to my man AB. Shout out to Double M. Shout out to all the new lovers out there. Think about yourself. This is an appropriate situation to be selfish. I'm gonna do a video on that next. And if you find yourself explaining certain behaviors or situations away, that should be an indicator to you. Give yourself a chance to have a real honeymoon phase before it falls apart. If you explain it away shit 4 seconds into the relationship, nah, that's a no-go. But we're gonna end it on that note. If you made it this far, you definitely a real one. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell icon for notifications. You a real one. Comments below. We got more heat coming. Shout out to MB Nesian Built. Shout out to Doug Baldwin, aka AJ, aka that dude. And we out.